exciting episode of The Spicy Life. I am your relationship expert and magnetic matchmaker, Spicy Mari. And to join me in the G-Spot, that's guest spotlight, on this episode of The Spicy Life, we have the amazing, the incredible Naza Shelley. The crowd goes wild. Let me give you a little background on this phenomenal woman. She is an attorney turned entrepreneur. She's the founder, CEO, and head matchmaker at Carpe Diem. With an impressive success rate, Carpe Diem is where traditional matchmaking meets modern online dating, combining expert matchmakers with modern tech to curate intentional, lasting connections, creating a community where Black love is celebrated and elevated. Naza is among the less than 1% of Black women founders who've raised over $1 million in venture capital. She's been featured in Essence, Black Enterprise, and Inc. magazine. After launching exclusively in DC in 2023, Carpe Diem Matchmaking is now accepting members from across the U.S.
Yes.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes.
Do I say Carpe Diem or Carpe Diem?
It's Carpe Diem.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were putting a little twist on it. You're actually saying it like Carpe Diem.
Yep, just like Carpe Diem.
Okay, well, you know, this is the Spicy Life, so we roll with it.
little remix.
On every episode, there's something that I mispronounce. So either it's the guest name, his mama's name, his baby. Like there's always something that I will mispronounce or make a mistake on.
You're staying on theme, but we got it. We got it together.
It's on theme. It's on theme. You are going to share with us about your business, also all things love. But before we jump into like the topic, you have to start with the spice breaker, which is, when was that moment, the first time that you fell in love with yourself? You have to take us back to it. When did you fall in love with me, I'm the best. I'm so incredible.
Me, I'm the best. I'm so incredible. That's a really great question. I feel like I'm not really a self-centered person, but I'm a centered person. But probably when I moved to China. So after law school, I moved to China for a year and I taught English, and I just kind of like was a little wayward. Like I was riding my e-bike around the country and studying Mandarin out of coffee shops and really thinking about the direction I wanted my life to go and like, you know, what people wanted for me versus what I actually truly wanted for myself out of life. I think that's when I realized like you can actually choose exactly what you want.
Yep.
You can do exactly what you want. And you can kind of break out of patterns and molds that people want to put you in. So I think that's probably one of the first times I thought like, girl, you got it. Like, you know,
so did you surprise yourself? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You're like, I can't believe I made this huge shift.
Yeah. And I think it was more so, I can't believe I never really gave myself the space to truly think about what I wanted versus expectations that people had of me or the things that I thought would make me a success or make me worthy or something like that, right? So when I actually had the opportunity to have that space and I was like, oh, I thought I wanted this, but I actually don't think I really want that, right? And so that kind of gave me a new perspective on life. And I realized like, you only get one of these, right? Yep. And so chasing after the validation of other people, what other people think that you should have is not the way I wanted to live my life. Yeah.
Ooh, the validation.
Yeah.
That's a whole wound for a lot of people right there.
Yep.
Today's episode is going to be on how to work smarter, not harder at love.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to talk about this with you. Let me tell you why I brought you on the show and how much I appreciate you. I love a go-getter, jet-setter, powerful woman who wants something from their life and manifests it through words and action, okay? And so I'm huge on connecting, okay? I'm a connector by spirit and trade. And when a mutual friend of ours was like, hey, I know Spicy, you're like, introduce us. I love that because I'm such that person. I'm like, I want to know her, introduce me, connect us. And the moment that she told me that you wanted to chat, I called you. I was like,
yeah.
Did you think I was going to call you?
I don't know. I didn't really have any expectations. Like, I think she put us in touch via like text or something. And you're like, I'm a call. I'm a call, girl. So hello. And I was like, hey, you know, so it was kind of like, I was down for it, you know, like, yeah.
I love that. Cause I'm like, girl, so we're just going to talk. And like,
let's just connect and see the vibe.
What's the vibe? What's your energy? Right. And it's kind of, and this is also how I coach my clients in dating, but I really operate in that space of let me feel you. Like, let me see what makes you tick. Let me see what connection we can make here. And by connection, I mean chemistry, right? Like that we can make. And you rolled with the punches. I had like probably 100 questions for you just because we are in the same industry, but also fellow entrepreneurs. Like I was like, I just want to hear how your brain works. Yeah. And in listening to you, I was like, oh, we have similar values. I need you on the show. And what'd you do? She flew out. Okay. That to me is and that's what I'm on. I am on the I want it, I got it. And like that energy, and I vibe with women like that. So before we actually even get into how to work smarter, not harder at love, I want you to talk a little bit about your business and how you created it. Yeah. Because I love what you were doing in the matchmaking space with Carpe Diem. Yeah.
So yeah, that's such a great question. It's such a long story, and we're gonna do like the shortened version. We can get into
the abridged
longer.
Version.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm an attorney. I was living and working in DC, and I was on that like, I bought a condo, I have a really great job, I'm, in this certain trajectory in life. And I was like, I really want to find love. And so I, like most people, was using the apps, and I've never had a stigma about dating apps. So like I've been using dating apps since I was in like my late teens, right? And so I was using the apps, and I was actually like really hitting it like a job. Like I was going on like, I was doing the things. I was going on the dates, and I was meeting the people.
Dates,
yes. And so, but I realized like it's so difficult when you're doing it all on your own, not just because you have to do it by yourself, but also the dating apps at the time, like they don't really help you, right? Like it's like the Wild Wild West. Like they put you on, you're on, and it's like, good luck to you, like figure it out. And so I was like, half the time I would go on dates, and not that the people weren't nice guys or something like that, but it was just like, if there was any type of screening process, like we wouldn't be here together, right? Because on the first or by the third date, I've learned that we actually have like value misalignment. That's huge. And I really wish I knew that right before either of us kind of wasted our time. And so when I looked in like the ecosystem for a solution for a Black woman like myself, I was hearing I was hearing other Black women just like me saying the same thing. Like, I'm struggling. This is really, really hard. And I was looking for something to use for myself, and I couldn't find anything. Like, so when I'm, calling some existing matchmaking services or something like that, like they're upcharging me because I'm Black, you know what I'm saying, to like use their service, or they actually, to creating like special packages because I'm Black, because they don't really have clientele, right?
So now they're like, we have to search for men
somebody
for you.
Specifically for you as a Black woman, because they don't really have a lot of Black men.
Which is already a problem.
Yeah, already problematic. And so I was just like, I wholeheartedly believe that Black women deserve love. I wholeheartedly believe that we are amazing, that we're amazing in relationships if we're paired with the right people. And so I was like, I want to create a solution for women like me. I don't want another woman to go looking for something and there be nothing. And I was just like, I still to this day believe that if I didn't do it, it wouldn't exist. And like, there wouldn't be a solution. I also believe if Carpe Diem doesn't, succeed the way that I know that it will, I don't think anybody else is going to come to save us. Right. Or like come to like fill this void to create something, right, that is built for Black women. So that's how it kind of got started. It was personal frustration.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that? Because we're a huge market. You know what I'm saying? Look at what we did to Target. Why do you think that we're being overlooked though?
I think it's who owns these companies, right? And so if you think about it, like if you go and look on the App Store or look anywhere, you will find a dating app for everything. So you will find, for women who like bald men, you will find, like a J-date for Jewish people. You will find, literally it runs people who like cats, like really like they've built it. But the people who are building them don't look like you or I, right? And so a lot of things that are built into the services are, their biases or whatever, but it's because who built them like has their own biases. It may not be intentional, but it's kind of built in because of who is building. And then, dating apps have a built-in misalignment with their members, right? Like the purpose of a dating app is to have you swiping or engaging because that's how they kind of assess their value, right? Like they have a certain amount of users, they have a certain amount of engagement, you buy a rose or whatever you do, that's how they generate revenue. and it's misaligned with your goal if you're a user, right, to find a partner. And so not that they don't work, because I think that they do work, but could they be better? Absolutely. Like, do I believe that Hinge knows who your perfect person is, like, on their platform? I do, right? Do I think that they hide that person from you? Probably, right? Because, like, where's the value in just you signing up for Hinge and they just rolling the person out the back, right? And so for me, I was like, I want to create something that is what I need and what I want as a business is in full alignment with what you're looking for as a member. And so I don't have any motivation not to deliver, right, on the goal of helping you find your person. And so that's what we built.
I love that. Work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what you're doing over here.
Yeah, trying.
So let's begin with this. When a woman feels like she's doing everything right, therapy, self-work, dating apps, why might love still feel harder to find for her than it does for others?
Great question. Why would it still feel harder? Because it is. I mean, like, and are you saying women in general, or are you talking about like Black women in general? Okay, so it's harder to find contentment in the options that we have access to today because we have access to so many people, right? And so there's a lot of, like, you know, the decision paralysis and all that stuff that happens because we always think that there's someone
analysis paralysis.
You know, we always think that there's someone better the next swipe, right? Or like you have a decent date, but it wasn't the date, right? Like, and so now you're back on the apps. And so that becomes harder. Like, back in the day, you kind of had access to who was in your town, who was connected to your friends, right? Like who maybe went to your school.
Within your village or social circle.
Yeah, and your village or social circle was pretty much like the realm of what you had access to as far as finding a partner. And now it's like you could be in LA and be dating in contacting people in London, right? Or like in a completely different country. And so it really, on one hand, gives you access to so many more amazing people. But, you know, they do the experiment, right? Where you give someone 47 ice cream flavors and they can't pick.
Oh, I call it Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors.
Yeah, the Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors. But then you put 4 in front of them and they immediately pick the one that's the best, the one that they want.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? Like we have too many options, social media, we have Instagram. So there's just, I mean, I think that plays into the fact that it's harder to make a selection. I think that impacts men and women, like not equally, but it impacts men and women. And then we have the change in the dynamic, right, between men and women, that, you know, we have more economic buying power, we have more freedom, we have more free will, right? Like it's just not a traditional.
You're saying we don't have to settle.
We don't have to settle, right? We don't have to settle. And we're looking for partners, right, who are meeting us where we are. Like an example you gave, she's gone to therapy, right? She got her body right? She looks good, smells good, has good conversation. You're talking about someone who's really done a lot of the work.
Yeah.
You also have to find a partner, right? Then that person is like looking for a partner who is equally yoked to them, right? And that can be difficult as well.
I also think with the way that we're modern day dating on apps and websites, in making those connections, the barriers to entry aren't there. So think about us as what university did you go to?
I went to UVA and then Howard Law.
Okay. So let's just say Howard Law.
Yeah.
You go to Howard Law, you're going to meet a specific type of person at Howard Law, right? There's a certain entrance exam and qualifying factors in order to get in there. So you're going to meet a specific type of man in that environment.
Yeah.
On the dating apps, the screening process is just human.
Yeah. It's like, all you.
It's all, so everybody come one, come all, you're all welcome. There's no exclusivity within it and no weeding out, right? The factors that disqualify are not there.
Right.
There's no weeding out anyone. And so now people who would never in a million years have access to you, nothing in common with you, now have access to you. And we're basing it just on the physicalness, right? Because it's just based on the photos. Even though profile does matter, attraction is how we are deciding.
Yeah, that's the first thing we see.
Yeah. And so I think that also hinders us.
Yeah.
But we still got we still need partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So, so we got to keep going. Okay. But the other element I think that you probably deal with your clients that I deal with as well as mine is we also attract a specific certain type of woman and man to our services, right? The higher achiever is going to be more efficient with their time. They're going to want a certain level of quality, right? We talked about they're in therapy, they're doing the self-work, all of that. And I always say, well, you are now becoming the best version of yourself. You're becoming great. So you want something great. It's going to require more of you. What do they say about Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we could get mediocrity, but you don't want that because you want greatness. Is going to look the path there is going to look very different,
and it may take longer. Right? So I think that there's a sense of urgency with a lot of people because they want the love of their life to have walked in the door yesterday,
like tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? And so I think that does create some anxiety, and it creates this sense of like, if I don't find him today, I'm just gonna give up, or like I can't go on one more bad date. And I'm like, dating is not for the faint of heart, right? Like trying to find your partner.
And so what are we really doing?
Exactly, right? And so to me, I'm kind of like, if you aren't the type that can put in some reps, right, and that can take rejection, that can listen, that can grow, that can reject, with empathy and kindness, and just not play into the whole ghosting culture and all that, then it may not be. Maybe you haven't done as much work as you need to when it comes to like being able to be a good companion and being able to be a partner. And I totally agree with you about the barriers to entry, which is what I was kind of alluding to initially when I was like, I'm going on all these dates, but by the third date, I realized you don't want kids and I do want kids, right? So now we've had 2 good dates, but that was a waste of my time. And so I think one of the good things about working with someone who like you or myself is that we're doing all that pre-work for you to make sure that like, hey, when I introduce you to someone, like there's so much alignment between you and that person that you should really take this introduction seriously, because I've already done all this legwork for you so that you can focus on the chemistry, right? You don't have to think, well, I don't know if we're faith aligned, or I don't know if like, we have the similar family planning values. Well, that was our job, right? And so like that was our job to kind of do, and we've done it, right? And so you can really focus on like, is there chemistry, right? Do you feel safe, secured? Is your nervous system like calm, right? But is there that attraction? And so to me, I feel like that's one of the beauties of working with someone who literally my job is to help you find that person that you have like the utmost alignment with.
What you were describing though to me was also how you and I connected. Because look at us here now, both in LA, sitting in these chairs. Gabrielle was like, hey, you two should connect, right? That's how relationships are built.
Yeah.
And oftentimes through referral, right? Somebody else saying like, hey, I have something for you, here you go. And so one huge thing that I love about your grit and determination is how you are pulling your pull together of men to help women, because women are feeling so frustrated right now. And so when I was talking to you, I was like, oh, you doing it, girl. You doing a lot of the legwork for women, which is amazing. How does comparison culture, okay? How does that affect women? Especially seeing women who are effortlessly coupled sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you have the other woman over here who's like, well, this person on Instagram made it look easy, and I got to do all this work over here.
Yeah.
How do you speak to that voice where we're doing the comparison of who got it easy versus who is having a hard time finding love?
Right. To me, I'm like, we all know like comparison is the thief of joy, right? And we all know that Instagram is people's highlight reel, right? And so we all have seen when things go wrong in relationships, and then all of a sudden you're actually seeing the fallout that we had no idea about that was actually going in a relationship. So to me, you shouldn't be putting anyone's relationship on a pedestal. I think that there's parts of people's relationships that you can admire, right? Then you can say like, wow, like it seems like, right? Like they know how to communicate with each other, right? Like, and I value communication. It seems like, they value each other and they know how to show up for each other and be supportive, right? But to be like, I must have a relationship like this, right? Or this is the perfect couple. This is the couple goals. To me, I'm kind of like, don't do that. Because like that's, you setting yourself up for a major disappointment, right? And so to me, when I talk to our members or I talk to one of my members, I really tell them that this is about an introduction, right? And the goal is to meet this person and to see if you want to talk to them again.
Yeah.
And then do you want to talk to them again?
And again.
Right? And again, right? And so I feel like the goal is like to remove some of the pressure that we put on ourselves. Like I mentioned before, like the timelines, the due dates.
How to find the one by tomorrow.
Right. Or I was supposed to be married by 35 and I was supposed to, we know now that women over 40 are having more kids than women under 20.
Did you think you would be married by 30?
Oh yeah, girl. I was
married by 30.
Yeah, I was in a relationship from 18 to I was in my second year of law school. So I was like, I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna have kids. And life is different, right? Now I think back at it and I'm like, girl, who?
I even think I thought coming out of college that I was gonna be married in my 20s, even though that would have been like, awful. Because the 20-year-old version of me could not have handled a husband.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But I think we think that it's going to be on this certain timeline, and it's not.
Yeah. And nor does it have to be. I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, I wish that a lot of people sat with the thought and like with the possibility that you may never find your person. Right. And I feel like I wish that they sat with that concept and accepted it in a way that freed them to engage with people without pressure, right?
What would that look like?
So if I sit with the concept of, you know what, like I may never find the love of my life, right? And so what does that mean for the quality of my life? What does that mean for the value of my life, right? So does that mean it's not worth living? Does that mean that the things that I do and the relationships that I do have are not fulfilling? Does that mean that, I should be in utter despair and be in a crash out mode, or I shouldn't be able to enjoy these other things that I find value in? And the answer is no, right? Like if you don't find your person, right? Like there are other types of love that you could have in your life. I'm not diminishing romantic love because it's so important, but it's the mental thought of accepting that to free yourself up, because then every person in front of you is not the person that needs to be your person, right? Like you can interact with people and think, wow, that was cool, but like that's not him, right? Like and move on, right? And
I see your approach.
Yeah. It's giving you pause.
It's giving me pause because I would frame it. Okay, so for that mindset, I understand why you're saying take the pressure off of this person having to hold this much power and weight by saying that it might not happen. What I'm going to push back on that is if we accept that it might not happen for us, let's just say we truly accept that, the motivation to continue going to me does not fuel appreciation for what's there. I feel like it will make you lazier and complacent to go after it. And yes, you may pour into these like other buckets, which you should be pouring into anyways, whether like it's a goal of yours or not. You should be pouring into those just to have a full life. But if you believe that it's not there, we will use it as an excuse to not pursue it.
So I disagree. And I'll just give you another example, right? Like I run this business, right? And I'm hoping that one day this business is the biggest business. I hope that I'm able to grow this business to create generational wealth for my family, right?
Amen.
I have accepted the fact that may not happen, right? I may never sell Carpe Diem or grow Carpe Diem to the point where I'm a multimillionaire and I'm yacht life and I'm, retiring my mom and I'm, that may never happen. That doesn't stop me from pursuing Carpe Diem with everything that I have and trying to make it the most impactful business for the women that I want to serve as possible. So I think that you can hold two truths at the same time and they don't just diminish like the effort that you're putting in, right, to something. I think that is also great to have Mamba mentality, right? So if you're the person that's like Mamba mentality, right? Yeah, like I will manifest everything that I want. I have that also, right? Like where I'm like, I will manifest the things that I want because I take action, right? Like, and that's the same thing but there are other factors that are fully out of my control, right? When it comes to me getting out of life exactly what I want. But that doesn't mean that what I get, I don't fully appreciate, right? And so to me, that's the difference.
Seems like a harder challenge, I think, for folks. And I love this. I love the spicy life because we can disagree on certain things. And this is where I'm going to like push back still. I think that what we have to tell ourselves is if it's not you, that's okay. it will be the next person, or he's coming still regardless. Versus I'm accepting that it won't happen for me.
No, I'm not saying I'm accepting it won't happen. I said accept that it may not happen. So to me,
can't even get back there.
to me, those are two very different things. To say like, I'm never going to find love. Why would you say that? Right? I would say I may not find the love of my life. Right? Like, and to me that a may is not a definitive negative. Right? But I may, right? Like, and I may find him. But that also
sounds to me like I may not be successful.
Well, to me, success is subjective.
But
right?
even if we look at it like our businesses, right? The spicy life may not be successful. If I convince myself of that that's okay, that I give myself permission to not be successful, but I'm still going to go with it with everything that I got. Just me telling myself that the success is optional is a demotivating factor for me.
I mean, maybe for you.
But we operate probably differently.
And
you're like, I can do both. I'm such an extremist. It's either I'm going to get it or I'm not.
And I also think that it's like the spicy life is already successful. Right? So
I see that
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you may not get the spicy life to where you want it to be, where you envision, right? But all that stuff that's along the way is not for naught because you don't reach some goal that you've established in your head that defines success for you, right? And so that's what I mean when I say sit with that thought, because I personally believe that it's freeing. Right? Because I don't have to walk.
I try to put myself in your shoes.
I don't have to walk into a date and think, okay, this is going to be the person, right? Like I can just walk into a date and be like, I'm going to enjoy this experience and I'm going to see where it kind of takes. Yeah, I'm going to see where it takes me. And if it doesn't take me anywhere, I don't have to say the next person may be him. You can, right? Like I think it's whatever's like the best motivating factor for you, like live in that, right? But to me, I feel like it's freeing a little bit not to have the weight of the love of my life is like around the corner hanging over me. The love of your life
I'm such a mindset queen. I'm such a affirmation to self queen. Like in the sense of what we tell ourselves is exactly what we will manifest to that level of power.
I am too.
But if I say I might not, I will move. I literally will move and adjust accordingly to that, right? But I understand what you're saying about the release the power of, let me use it for having a baby. If I would have told myself that I may not
ever become a mother,
how would that have made me move? I told myself, when I made the decision, I went full throttle with it, accepting that the reality could be otherwise, but doing all within my power to still try to make it happen.
Exactly.
So I see where you're saying with that, because I'm trying to use something that is, but here's the difference. And here's why I can do it for parenting and not for relationship. Parenting was optional for me. So if it was just me and my husband, I would have been okay.
Okay.
However, I love my child. But not having a husband was not optional for me, right? My son is a blessing, and I came to that. I'm trying to think it's just a difference in perspective. Yeah. And people have an ability to have those different like perspectives and like what motivates and fuels them. For me, I don't care if it's something as simple as my diet. If I'm like, okay, I don't need to lose these 5 pounds tomorrow, I'm eating chips. So I'm very much a person like, no. If I'm in, I'm in. If I'm out. Where the may not torments me.
No, I could see how it could be problematic for some.
But I see where you're going with it. Like I understand why it makes sense. And you're saying release that. For me, I'm like release the power that you're giving him, because he hasn't earned your heart. It could be the next one. It will be then after that. But don't give anybody power until they have earned it. Like do not let them possess your being and your heart until they have proven worthy of.
I think for me, it's also like, there's so many factors that play into our desire for very strong romantic love that are completely valid, right? And then I think that there are so many factors that like are not valid, right? And so to me, I feel like if you've done the work to compartmentalize, like to like address like things that are valid versus things that are invalid, then
give me an example of valid versus invalid for
valid
everyone.
is I truly desire partnership. I do not feel that my life will be complete if I leave this earth without having had a husband, right? That's your internal. Invalid is society tells me that my worth as a woman is wrapped up in whether or not I find a husband and I'm able to present that to the world
1000%.
as validation, right, for me as a woman, right? And so I think that some people chase the partner and the package and the look for the optics and for the validation that society gives versus the true feeling of I just don't think that my journey will be completely fulfilled if I never find the person that I believe is my person, right? And so I think that if we do the work to differentiate between valid and invalid and like that valid feeling is still like that overcomes you, then of course, like maybe have the mindset of like, I will find him or her or them or they or whatever you call it, right? So I will find that person for me in this lifetime. If not, then it's kind of like I am having a ball at life and I am enjoying the people that I'm meeting along the way. I am doing the things, right, to put myself in the best position to find that person. But you know what? If I don't find that person, like the validity and like the worth that I have in myself and life is not tied to that outcome.
You just helped me realize why we're not we are seeing two different perspectives on it because use the word that everybody is against, but I'm actually for need. You, I think, are seeing it as I don't need partnership. I'm complete without it. I am saying, no, we lean into need because they are necessary and we move with all of our power, all of our energy, all the things to manifest that and make that happen. Because I truly do believe that we need partnership.
You truly believe that we need romantic partnership.
I truly believe that we need romantic partnership, even if that means. Now, not every single person is worthy of healthy romantic partnership. And what I mean by that is, if you want healthy romantic partnership, then you move as a force for healthy romantic partnership. If you want romantic partnership at any cost and it doesn't have to be healthy, then it will look different and two toxic people belong with each other because we left you out there in the atmosphere to find one another because us healthy people over here chose one another. So by all means, you learn from being in that relationship and blossom into whoever you become. But I do think that life is better in partnership. Okay, I've lived both. And
you believe life is better in romantic partnership.
In romantic partnership. And I have every bucket of love checked off. But nothing compares. I'm like I've tasted every piece of chocolate from my mom. I think that my mom gave me camel's milk chocolate. Like
you're like I've done it all.
And I'm like no, but love. But I am so team love, and I think it's also what makes me great at my job. I think for yours, what makes you great is because you're not putting maybe that pressure on yourself, and you're not putting it on your clients, right? So we actually probably coach very different in our practice. I'm like, oh, no, we're going to move with a force and manifest this thing and it's going to look like this. And you're like, we're going to let it happen. And yours is probably a very lighter, softer, approach to it when you relieve that. And mine is like, no, we're going to stand on business by any means necessary. So even if we have to move hell and high water.
Yeah. So I appreciate your approach. Absolutely. And I think that you have to have like a very dogged mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the reality can be frustrating for a lot of people. So love to understand, how do you, leading with that mentality, right? How do you deal with disappointment? Because if we just look at the numbers and let me just be clear, I am the biggest proponent of love, right? Like I feel like I've pretty much given my entire life to helping Black women find love, and I feel like it's one of the most worthy causes that I could, very gratifying. That
babies born,
right,
like, oh
yes. But I also realize that for every happy story, you know what I'm saying, there's someone who walks away that's like, oh, you know what, like I didn't find my person through this experience, right? And so how do you, with the mentality you have, right, coach and or support someone who's like, you know what, like we went through this whole process, like you were my matchmaker and like it didn't work. You know, like, so yeah, what's your...
So let me make sure that I'm understanding your question. For the person who doesn't get the outcome that they desire.
Right.
With the mindset of what you're saying is that it might not happen for me, right? After that disappointment and rejection, the person with a mindset that accepts that it might not happen for them will, I believe, release and quit. Because that pain and that acceptance that person is not going to be there, they have to actually acknowledge that and sit with that, right? With my approach, what I'm saying is that I'm instructing that the rejection and the disappointment and the heartache is a part of your path to your purpose mate. That without it, you will not actually get to him, because when he's in front of you, you won't even appreciate him if it's easy. You will take it for granted if he's in front of you tomorrow. You ain't even prepared for it because he's also preparing for you. So you want to quit, you don't want it bad enough. You want to accept that he doesn't exist, go ahead. You belong on that other island with the people who aren't hardcore lovers. Leave me and the hardcore lovers who want this by any means necessary to the 50% of marriage that makes it. You and the ones who don't want to work through it, you want to choose the unhealthy man because you want to, you know, or just give it up and choose anybody, you go with the other 50%. And so I do think that there is a division in teams. Just like I hold the people accountable who's saying that I'm not even going to opt in, right? The people who say, well, the divorce rate is so high, I'm not even going to attempt. And I'm like, okay, so you be a part of the losing team because you don't want this, or you won't work for this thing that you say that you want. I'll be a part of the winning team. Like, I really do look at, and I know it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds hurtful even to some people who are like, well, I tapped out. No. I will be 80 still. I already told my husband, I said, I'm a wife. Something should happen to you or you should betray me. I will have another husband. So don't mess it up.
So I feel like for me, I think it's my job to be the optimistic coach for my clients, right? So to me, I've had client members that are like, oh, I'm ready to throw in the towel. And I'm like, I still believe in this for you, right? And so I am definitely the cheerleader that's like, we're gonna make this happen, right? Like, we just need some more reps. But I think the perspective I have is not to be a wishy-washy person that's just like, well, if it happens, great. And if it doesn't happen, great. Like, that's not the point of the mental exercise that, like,
You're just saying the acceptance piece.
Yeah, it's the acceptance piece. And I think that I wouldn't say someone who, so the reality for me is there are going to be people who do not find their partner, right? Like, there are people who do not find their partner.
There are people who don't find their partner.
There are people who do not find their partner despite their very best efforts, right? So I'm not talking about the people who give up, the people who, you know, like, phone it in. Like, there are people who are fighting every day to find someone and that they don't. And so to me, I think that it's difficult to be like, it's difficult to ignore that reality for the people, both men and women, who that is going to be their reality. So I think that it's great to have the mindset of like, don't worry, we're going to make this happen. Like, and I think that's part of the job, right? Like, because we are meant to be encouragement and meant to see beyond what our members can see. But I don't necessarily think that being, I guess maybe I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? So like, and maybe like that's just slightly different. And so it probably does play.
You're saying it may not happen, and I'm saying it may take longer than you think. And here's where, because I'm saying that I'm also using the language of like need. You're saying that I see you being a realist, and I completely see that. I'm going to relate it to career. Back in the day, and I'm going to attribute a fellow like host back in the day that started with me, Courtney. His name is Courtney. Shout out to Courtney. He had said, you have to want to host so bad, okay? Because it's not meant for everyone. This is a delulu career path. You have to want it so bad that even if it takes you 10 years, you'll still go after it. And I said, yes. He said, without pay, you'll still go after it. I said, yes. He said, what about 20 years? Will you still go after it? And I'm like, thinking to myself, I'm like, dang, how old by then? Still fighting for this with all my life? yes, I am so in love with it that I will do it by any means, never give up on it. And he said, well, then you pursue it. I'm tapping out. Like he was like, well, you keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that it is the same thing with love. I have to I have to believe that person exists and that he is behind door number 20. And if he's not behind 20, that he's behind 40.
Yeah.
Because if not, why am I torturing myself with his lack of absence? Why am I torturing myself with this thing that I want more than they may even want me in this moment? And that just means that there's new levels for me to experience and to achieve, to grow. Because who I may even be in those 20 years may be the person who's more aligned with my purpose than who I am right now. But I can't tell myself that they don't exist.
Right.
I can't even accept that or else I will tap out.
Yeah. And I think for me, I think that of course, the end result is a part of the motivator, but also the journey itself
the journey is huge.
The journey is huge. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think that's why I'm like, okay, if it never happens, what does that mean? Like I had a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like I still met amazing people. I still had love in my life. I still thought that I still had romantic interest. I still had romantic love. Right. And so and who's to say, like, there's people who get married, they're married for 10 years, they're divorced. And I'm like, so did you find your person? Right? Or was that a part of your journey? Right. And now, like you said, I'm meant to be a wife.
That's
right.
a part of the journey.
That's right. Exactly. Right. And so I think that kind of circles back to like your question about the comparison.
But I would
piece.
rather experience the love than never experience
Of course.
it all.
And so I'm not diminishing the fact that someone got married, right, and it didn't work out. I'm highlighting the fact that we think about that as the end goal, right, of I found my person, and I know I found my person because I walked down the aisle, I have the ring, like you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, well then when that divorce happens and you're back and then you find another person that's amazing, did you really now find your person? Right? Like,
oh, see, I think that you have multiple people.
Oh, okay. That's a good nuance.
So this is just the spicy theory.
Okay.
God wouldn't do that to us, okay? I think that there are multiple people on this planet who you'd be compatible with.
Yeah.
Your only responsibility is to find one of them,
I
right?
agree with you.
So I think there's a handful.
Yeah.
I think there's like probably 5 men on this earth who could be my husband. 5 men that I could even, help me propel into my purpose. My only responsibility is to operate in a way that is aligned with that and who is best to help me serve the kingdom and exercise my gifts, okay?
Right.
Now, the work that I put in to meet one of them people is how it's going to manifest. And what do I need to heal within? What do I need to strengthen? What opportunities do I need to take to connect with one of them?
Right.
But there is no world that exists, and if we were to use this just like with work, there is no world that exists that I'm just unemployed ever again, right? Because what if I accept the job market's great? Okay, so I'm just going to accept that it's not going to happen. No.
Right.
There's probably 5 other career paths that I could take that would be great within the same realms of using my gifts, but to just accept or tell myself, and I love we're just on this topic for so long. I have like 10 other questions but what you are doing is representing a way of thinking that some women connect with. And my way is a way that other women connect with, right? And I think that it's important to hear a difference in opinions and then allow women to hear a difference of opinion and what healthy conversation and healthy debate actually looks like. Because guess who we're always going to have that with? Men. They're going to have a different perspective than we are. And we have to be effectively able to communicate and help them to understand. We don't have to agree. You have to never agree with me.
Right.
And I have to never agree with you. And that is okay because I still respect your perspective, your opinion.
And we do agree on that. We do agree on that. I don't agree. I don't think that there's just one person.
You see multiple people in this universe that you could work with.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Let me get back to the questions because this is so juicy. I love this. And I would love for people to even like weigh in on what they think, like, do we tell ourselves like it's going to happen or accept it? It may not. Like, I love this. Okay. Are there specific stereotypes? Oops, no. Hold on, let me go to the correct. I'm like, I have so many of this. Are there specific stereotypes, especially around successful, ambitious, or high-achieving women that make dating more challenging? In your professional experience, the more successful that we get, is it harder for us?
The more successful that we get, is it harder? I'm going to say the more characteristics we add to the list of things that we believe we need in a partner makes it harder to find a partner that we're satisfied with. And I think that people who are very successful have longer lists, right, of what they're looking for, which can make it more difficult. I think that there are successful people who are very real, like, not want to say realistic, because I'm not saying that people who have long lists are unrealistic, but they are more measured in like what they believe, right, is going to contribute to happiness in a partner. And I think that it's easier for them to find a partner, right, that they can make things work with, even though they are successful, right?
Do you think they need to redefine that?
To redefine the people who have...
Who they think will make them happy.
Yeah. We're all over the place. So we did an entire series with psychologist Tai Tashiro, and he wrote the book The Happiness of Forever, Happily Ever After, the science behind the Happily Forever After, something like that. And so he did a whole, and his book is all about what we believe leads to happy relationships and scientifically what actually does, right? And so a lot of the things that we believe we need, right, in order to form and have happy, long-lasting relationships are not the things in actuality that lend towards happiness and longevity in relationships. And so that just goes to tell me that people don't have alignment, right? Like value alignment on exactly what it is that they should be looking for in a partner for like that longevity, right? And so I absolutely think that we stand in our own way, right, when it comes to being able to meet someone. I mean, I see it as a matchmaker all the time. I'm like, girl, you need to meet this guy, right? Like we had a whole...
exactly what you wanted.
You need to meet this guy. Like you said you love to do da-da-da, and he meets all these different things, and, you know, send a photo. Oh, I'm not interested. And I'm like, okay, girl, you sure? Because you said, let me reiterate, you said that the 3, 4, 5 things that were top of most important to you are A, B, C, D. And this person literally has them. And they're interested in you.
Yeah.
You sure? Oh yeah, I'm not. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm kind of like, there definitely is a misalignment that I feel like is unfortunate, but I feel like everybody is on their own path. So who am I to tell you that like you're making a mistake, right? Like, no, maybe you're not making a mistake, right? Like maybe you just know yourself so well, and far be it from me, the person you're paying, right? Like to try to weigh in and
accept my counsel.
Right, to accept my counsel one way or the other, right? And so in those situations, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, and I've learned something as a matchmaker, right, about you that helps inform me about who I potentially would present to you as your next match. What I've actually learned is the things that you say that you value the most are not the things that you value the most.
Not if you're prioritizing this dang photo right here over
over meeting, over the conversation of meeting this person who I have already vetted all these other things that are in alignment with you, right? So what I've learned is something that you're unable to articulate, which is the things that when we have the conversation about values and, you know, the hierarchy of your needs and your wants is not what is actually the hierarchy of your needs and wants, right? And so I don't have to tell you that. I have to tell myself that, right? As your matchmaker, okay, I thought that, you know, she was on a different vibe and she ain't, right? Like, unfortunately.
She says she ain't ready.
Is she, right?
She ain't ready for what she says she wants.
Exactly. So.
That's hilarious. I think we both understand that all too well.
Yeah.
But what I do enjoy, and I think that is super fun, that you probably experienced too, is going through that journey with them in being like, okay, but see, I'm different. I call you out. I'm like, okay, don't listen to me. I will be here for the next person. Let's go with the one, this person who you're saying like he's a better fit. Let's go with that. But I'm not humble, and I say this at weddings. I told you so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, now what did we wind up choosing, and what's better for us?
Right.
And I think that rejection or those pain points are also a part of the journey. Like you had to fall on your face. You had to experience that. You had to go through some of that to get you to the place where you now appreciate this person right here.
Exactly.
And sometimes they just need a little bit more turmoil till we get them there.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, it's not just a matter of you giving me a list and me like being like, I found the person. That person has to like you too. right? And people don't understand that. So I'm like, okay, if I feel like you're being unreasonable, I'm like, I'm giving you exactly what you want. Here's Idris, right? Here's Damson Idris. Here's, Method Man, right? Here's the guy that you say you want. And I'm going to introduce you. And then you feel the rejection, right? Of potentially feel the rejection, right? Of them not reciprocating the interest, right? And so I agree with you that sometimes you have to kind of go through that process, the growing pains, right? To be like, hey, let me recalibrate the way that I'm thinking about the person that I'm supposed to be with. And so I completely understand why everybody wants, the young Denzel. I want him to, you know what I'm saying? So like, I get it, right? But that's just not going to be the ministry for every single person, right? But that doesn't mean you can't have an amazing person that like loves you, that values you, right? And I'm not saying pull the ogre out from under the bridge and be like, this is your guy, right? Yeah. Like, I'm just saying maybe but
I think that's what they hear. I think that when we say like, let's prioritize these values, and they're like, oh, you're going to put me with Shrek.
So, right.
Why does their mind go straight to, well, I have to be with Mr. Fugly?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand.
They go extremely dark when we're like, no, but what about kindness and compassion and like the things you said you wanted? Okay, this person is that.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me how fearful people are of thinking that they're gonna have to sacrifice attraction for core values.
And I think that you cannot sacrifice attraction.
Absolutely.
Right? I feel like you have to be attracted to your partner. I think that people have to widen their breadth of what attraction is to them, right? And so I feel like widen it a little bit so that more people, right, are coming into that orbit, so that you increase your chances of finding your person. Yeah. So to me, I'm kind of like we accept so many things that are unattractive about attractive people, right? Because they're attractive. But I'm like, girl, this man had you pay for the first date, right? Oh, but he's so fine. And I'm like, wow, this is beyond bizarre to me that we accept so many unattractive qualities from people who are attractive, but we will not accept the amazing qualities that are truly, truly attractive for someone who we deem to be less attractive than we believe we deserve. Yep. Right. And so, and I don't even want to get into that can of worms about.
That's also the like vanity aspect of like, if I inherit an attractive person, that reflects on me as a person. Right. And like, we can go all day long about the science behind that. But I think you were on the same page in agreement with me on that note, right? Yeah. On the superficial.
We're very superficial, unfortunately.
Okay, what mindset shifts can women make to move from why me, why is this so hard, to I'm magnetic, I attract the right partner with ease?
Yeah. I think just having an abundance mindset when it comes to dating, even though we know the route, like I said, I deal in reality, but I encourage optimism when it comes to like how you're interacting with the world, because I know from personal experience that that the energy that you put out is the energy that you receive, right? So if you put out distress, you're going to get distress, right? If you put out desperation, you're going to get desperation, like the toxic versus toxic, right? And so to me, I feel like you have to actually have actualized the positivity, I live in abundance, right? Like I will attract the person that is meant for me. And I have no problem letting go of someone who's not for me, because I fear being alone. I fear that, I won't find anyone else again, that this person may be the best that I could do, but I'm not exactly sure. Once you know that this person is not aligned with you, like let it go, right? And believe, right, that I'm going to find something better and more aligned, or you may not, right? But you operate.
See, I just leave that part off. I'm like, no.
But you operate in that abundance mindset, right? And I think that it helps people like just have more fun, right? And have more of a pleasurable experience when they're dating. And I think that is...
I think that's hard for people. Fun.
It's really hard for people.
Fun so freaking hard for people?
Because people are like, I don't have no more time to waste. I had fun in my 20s and people wasted my time. Or people are so worried about being used, being, taken advantage of.
Wasting their time.
And I think that if you shift your mindset to this is an experience that I'm having, right? And I'm going to make the best out of this experience, no matter if I know that this person is not right for me. I always had this mentality when I was dating, right? Like I could probably tell within like 5 to 10 minutes that this person is not for me, but I'm going to make sure that he has the best date and I have the best date, right? Because we're here, right? Like I value the person giving their time and energy to me, right, in this moment. And I believe that I should reciprocate and show that by, you know, making this the best experience that we both can have, like in this moment, even though I wish you so well, right? And it was so nice to meet you, but like now I'm on to like the next thing. And I think that people really struggle with that because of the feeling of, this is a waste of my time, or this is like, it's not.
Dating is data.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, it is 1000% data. I am gathering information about self and about how I show up and if our energies are aligned and also what I pull out in you. Yeah. And do I like what you pull out in me?
Exactly.
And that is the lesson that we can take and then move on to the next. Because I think that something that I like that I think is helpful is I'm just making a new friend.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So versus he's never coming. Mine is we're just building friendship. Yeah. We're just operating in can this person be a good friend to me? Because if he can't be a good friend to me, he's not going to make a great lover. And so if I take that pressure off, are we compatible in that way? Then now I can move freely. I also highly encourage what you probably do as well is like be the fun. So people are oftentimes looking for someone else to create the spark and to set them off and to create this fire. But like just be the fire. Yeah. And if he is influenced by your fire, if he is aligned with your fire, then it will show up. But you can't wait for him to light the flame. Right. Because then it's not gonna happen. Both of y'all looking at each other like, what you got? Well, what you got?
Yeah. Right. What you want? What do you want? Right. Like, yeah, I think it's like, there's so many things that are super transactional, unfortunately, when it comes to dating today. And like, in people looking at like, one, what can they get without giving? And then two, if I give and I don't get anything back, like I've lost, right? Or like I'm a simp, or this person's taking advantage of me, or, you know what I'm saying? Versus just like, it's not always that deep, right? Like sometimes it's just a matter of, hey, we met, we didn't vibe the way we thought. Like no one is wronged in the situation, right? Like no one is like at fault. It just like didn't kind of work out. And so to me, I'm like, I just wish that people, one, tapped into, like you said, like how do I feel and how does this person make me feel in this moment? And like, do I feel good, right? Do I feel like myself? Do I feel like at ease? Right? Do I feel like I can talk to this person? And I'm not a friend collector, but I do think that like I want to be friends with my partner, right? And so to me, I'm kind of like, I
define a friend collector.
Like a friend collector is like, I'm like, you know, like to your point of like, you know, is this person like, can we be friends, right? Like I think that I need to be friends, obviously best friends with my partner, but I don't necessarily think about dating in the mindset of friendship, right? Like to me, I'm kind of like, do I want this person to be like my lover, my homie, and my friend, right? Like all of those things.
In those other areas put so much weight. That's where they get tripped up.
Yeah, it really can, right? Like it makes it a little bit more complex. But I think obviously, does this person have the qualities I'm looking for in a good person, right? Like which I think lends into like I would be friends with this person if, you know, I potentially would be friends with this person.
What I think happens, to your point, is that we will go into it like, ooh, he would make an amazing lover, but he's actually, I would never really be friends with this person.
Right. I think you have to kind of play the thing of doing all the things at once, right? Like this person is, I mean, you're doing the dating and the data collecting, right? And the, you know, the sensing of yourself. All this thing is happening, is complex, is happening at like the same time. So to me, I'm kind of like, okay, our vibe is actually good, but like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I actually, you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I could see this. I could see this person kissing me, right? I could see this person, like I could potentially see myself being intimate with this person. And maybe you're not thinking that on the first date or the second date, right? But those thoughts do come to you because I don't think that like your romantic partner is, I want to be friends with my romantic partner, but I don't want my romantic partner to just be my friend, right? So I feel like the layer,
correct. In that part. I think that starting with friendship and knowing the qualifying factors for your friend creates a certain level of safety first, because friendship requires trust, before we move on to the romantic. Because I think what oftentimes happens is we start off with this hot and heavy, like, oh my God, I felt so much. Do you feel that chemistry? And we start making poor decisions. Oh yeah, absolutely. Without connecting with like their core values and is this person a good human being, right? So, but I hear you. You're afraid of someone being friend zoned because they wouldn't make a good romantic partner, or there's not chemistry down the way.
Well, or leading so much with that, where you're actually like, yeah, this person is actually just your friend, right? Like they're like you on date 5 and y'all,
there's no romantic.
Yeah, it's like, we give them sibling energy, right? Versus like actual romantic energy. So I'm not in disagreement with what you're saying. I'm just saying that we kind of have to do we have to like fly the plane as we're building. We have to cut and do multiple things at one time when it comes to assessing a person. And I 100% agree with you about reserving the physical part of your relationship until you've gathered enough data to ensure that you are value aligned. My thing is, I should feel that desire, right? Or I should be able to see that interaction with you. Like, but if you're with someone and you're like, wow, I don't think this person, he's so nice and we're really chummy and friends, but I really couldn't imagine this person like kissing me, right? Or like, I don't think I want to be intimate with this person. I couldn't see it. Then to me, I'm like, they're truly like in that friend stage.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I also think that passion can be created.
I think passion can...
When a man shows up in a certain way and he has proven himself to love on you a certain way, I also think that it can be ignited. So the person who you least expected has now won that little race.
I think on the woman to man side, it's probably more of a potential likely outcome than from the man.
Oh, 1,000%. Okay, I do not think, if a man is not... I say this, you guys could look on my social, my most recent post. If a man's not physically attracted to you, he will not fall in love with you. But... if a man is not immediately physically attractive to a woman, based on how he shows up, he can pull her over to love and attraction.
Which is one of the reasons why when I'm talking to some of my clients, I'm like, I get it, but meet this person, right? Because I know that we have a much larger capacity to be excited about how a man shows up for us, right?
Men, not forgiving. They're like, I'm not attracted to her. No,
cut it. Yes, absolutely. And I there's so much social media like content and chat forums and stuff, and I'm like, I think it's something that women, we have to accept, and I think that we struggle to accept the fact that if a man is not attracted to you, he does not want to pursue you. You're not igniting in him that desire to pursue you, and it's not going to happen, right? And so I think that a lot of women, will lead with all these other positive attributes that we have, not realizing that, unfortunately, if we're dealing in reality when it comes to the male to female interaction, it's not going to be a saving grace. And I'm not saying that, you may be a coworker with someone, and I feel like people will present an exception and be like, what happened for me? Like, I was coworkers with my husband and he told me he wasn't necessarily attracted to me at first, but then he got to know me and now we're happily ever after. And I'm like,
I've never even heard that
testimony. Right. But I'm like, people will come up with...
Listen to this episode and send me that testimony if that's the case.
But I feel like people will come up with an exception and try to apply it
across the board.
As a rule. And I'm like, no, the general rule is on that dynamic,
for sure,
that attraction has to be there for the man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say to the woman listening who feels tired, defeated, and like she's the last woman on earth still fighting for love?
The last woman on earth. I would say that you're definitely not alone, right? There are so many people that feel very discouraged by the current dating climate, and it's not just women, right? Like I talk to men that are also feeling very discouraged. So to me, I think one, and you may disagree, I don't know. Okay. It's okay to take a break, right?
Yeah,
like,
yes.
It's okay. It's okay.
You were like, Spicy, you've been agreeing with me on what they tell me.
Spicy said, look, you gotta go hard all the time,
I'm
right?
Like, go hard or go home. Like, what are we doing over here?
So to me, I'm kind of like, it's okay to take a little break, right? To like recalibrate.
No, for sure. We need to take breaks.
Yes. And then, get that energy and that excitement back up for the process, because I think that you have to be in the process with that optimism and energy, because people feel your energy, right?
Yeah.
So if you're apathetic about the opportunity to meet someone, right? Like if you're just like, I'm here, like whatever, like let's see, you about to disappoint me too, right? Like then people get that energy, and that's just not
be on the market with that energy.
Yes, that's just not the mindset that you want to be. So I would say, like, one, if you need to take a little break, absolutely do that. If you need to talk through the way that you're feeling, you know, you can engage with a coach, you can engage with a professional like a therapist, right? And have those conversations. You can pour into other areas of your life that energize you, whether or not that's like your family, whether or not that's passions that you have, right? That like really kind of energize you until you're kind of back in that mindset. I'm the same way. Like, I'll take 4 or 5 months off dating, like, or, you know, a year off of dating. And like, just because I'm like, hey, I want to really focus my energy on something else, but I'm never like off the market. You know what I'm saying? Like really, you know what I'm saying? Like really. And in that time that you're doing those things, like keep your head on a swivel, right? Like, because you just never know, right? Like you don't want to be shut off from the opportunity or the possibility of meeting someone, even in a very organic way. Because
we're human. We need a little recovery time. Yes. I'm definitely here for that. Yeah, for sure.
What about you? Like, what would you say?
I would say the same thing. I think that we get burnout. Yeah. We get dating burnout, we get dating app burnout, we get marriage burnout. Okay, I've been taking vacations from my husband. I'm going on a sorority retreat in a couple weekends. Like taking those little breaks from your love life, whether it's in the dating or in the marriage phase, right? That doesn't mean that you're not going to be responsible and accountable. Right. But what it does mean is like sometimes we need to detox from what that responsibility is, and we circle back to it with the recharge and refresh. What I see, though, oftentimes what happens, though, is the more time that goes by, we get comfortable with not working for it. And we start to then sit into the acceptance of it. But then we looked up that, well, now it's 3 years later, I've been accepting the state of, you know, my relationship status. And now it's even more pressure because I wasted those years. So I do think that we need to have a real and honest conversation, to your point, about the why behind what we want, right? And if we have that honest conversation, is it for others or is it for yourself? Yeah. And if that is the case, okay, well, what does it look like and what do I need to put in order for that to happen?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, you and I are aligned on a lot of things. We different paths to get in there, different paths to get in there, and that is perfectly fine. But we talking through it. We see different perspectives. Share it a little bit before we go about the business, so that women can know what you're providing. Because I do want them to know what you have to offer within your business. Yeah, because even and I'm always here for people in my industry and other professionals. I bring on relationship people all the time because I see us as empowering one another. And just like a man, what man is for you may not be for me. What client is for you may not be for me. Like, girl, sell your business. Yeah. Like, let them come see, because if they're aligned and they're meant for you, that is what we need to be doing for each other. My goal is to get people in happy, healthy relationships. Absolutely. So let them have it.
Yeah. I love that. And thank you for the opportunity. So, you know, Carpe Diem, we're a tech-enabled matchmaking service. So our goal is to like scale the concept of matchmaking. So you're a personal matchmaker, you know that there's only so much that we can do, right? So many clients that an individual matchmaker can take on. And so for me, I want every person to be able to have the experience of having a personal matchmaker on their side, because I think in today's society, when it comes to dating, we are putting so much technology in between human connection, and we think that that's the answer, like AI this, AI that. I'm like, the answer is the connection, right, between two people. And so that's why we really focus on pairing you with a matchmaker who our goal is to connect you with real people, but by removing a lot of the process. So we're a membership community where you submit an application, you go through a vetting process, you interview with a matchmaker, you select your membership that you want to join on.
What is it, like silver, gold, platinum?
So it's Pool, Gallery, Premium, and so they're all 1-year memberships. And so Pool is available to all membership tiers are available to men, and then Gallery and Premium are available to women. And we only accept people who want to date Black women, right? So if you are a Black woman,
so they're already leaning into the love.
If you're a Black woman and you want to find love, or if you're anyone who wants to be in a relationship or date Black women, then we're the community where we want you to find your partner. Everybody's 100% background checked. and there's no swiping. So like you're interacting with your matches through our technology, but you're pretty much getting that concierge like matchmaker experience because like we're doing the vetting and we're proposing the matches to you. And like our goal is for you to live your life, right? And then when you know that when you get a message from us, it's time for you to meet someone amazing. Yeah. And so that goal is that, you know, we match you with someone and the first interaction is actually a video date. It's no texting. So we want to get you to the most meaningful form of connection possible. And so we've removed texting because we do not believe texting is a good way to make a first impression on someone. Yeah. And so you have the video date and then you kind of let us know after that date if you want to remain matched. Usually after that, people kind of are off to the races, like, because it's really difficult to ghost someone after you've met them and had a video date with them, right? Like it really spurs that connection like very quickly. And if not, like you pretty much are creating a feedback loop with your matchmaker. And really one of the beautiful things about having a matchmaker and working with us is that we know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So when that coaching session comes back, like we're able to tell you like, Spicy, why'd you show up to the date looking crazy, right? Like, you know, right. Like he said you had on a bonnet or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, like you were in your car and you were kind of like distracted or like, you know, or hey, like you didn't ask her any question about herself.
Getting that mutual feedback.
Right. And so she told us that like it was your show, the entire video date, and she felt like you were not interested in her at all because the mistakes that you're making, you're repetitively making. And a lot of people do not know where they're going wrong on their search to find love. And so we're able to help them with that feedback loop and that coaching. And so we pair all of that with events and all the fun things. So we were, like you said earlier, we were in DC, Maryland, Virginia when we initially launched, and now we're accepting members from all across the country. And it's really exciting because we're seeing people that are, you know, matching from Texas to New York and Texas to DC or all over the place. And it's really exciting to see all the love connections because we launched Carpe Diem with a 3-pronged mission, and that is to elevate Black women who we think are woefully, underserved and misrepresented in the relationship space and devalued in many aspects. And then 2, to help create generational wealth within our community through the formation of 2 income and 2-parent households. And then 3, we say give Black or give back. So a portion of every membership that we have of Carpe Diem goes to organizations doing amazing work in the Black community. So last year, our donation partner was 100 Black men of Greater Washington, D.C., and we're able to donate a portion of our revenue to them, and they're pouring that back into the community. So we're a very mission focused and value aligned service when it comes to one, what our members care about, but then 2, our goal is to help you find love. And so we have all different types of matchmakers, from widowed matchmakers to actively married to matchmakers that are just having kids, right, to matchmakers that are single. And so you really can select right from our team of matchmakers, like who you feel like is going to be the right coach for you, or we're able to recommend one of the matchmakers to you. And that's kind of pretty much how we operate.
I love it. The part that when you were telling me the missions on our telephone call, you were like, was the alignment in restoring the family unit, because that's my mission in life, 2-parent home, of course, and giving back to our community, right? Building that generational wealth. And when you told me how you also give back in the philanthropic work, I was like, oh, we're here. Yes. What those paths look like to getting there may look different, but I love that we are relationship leaders in the community, trying to make this happen for folks and get out of their own way. You have to let everybody know where they can find you. Where can they go, right? For the business and for your social.
Absolutely. So if you want to find us, it's Carpe, the letter D, the letter M, dating, pretty much on all socials, or carpedmdating.com if you want to submit an application to be able to join. And then if you want to find me, I'm Naza with Love on Instagram. And that's the best form to find me. Or I'm Naza at carpedmdating.com. You can message me if you want to collaborate or if you just have any questions.
In her DM.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have people all the time. So my goal is,
if you a man that's single on the market and you like what you see, right? Slide in her DM and holler at her.
Very respectfully, of course. Very respectfully.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna go get it. Go after her if you want her.
Thank you for the plug.
You guys can always play with my Twitter stroke, my IG at SpicyMadi. Go to thespicylife.com. Share this episode with a friend. Click and subscribe. Also schedule a consultation if you need one. I am here for you. And there you have it. You have just been spiced. The Spicy